In our last video, we talked about creating videos for Facebook, and we really dove into when the pre-production stage, production stage, when you're figuring out your messaging and you're actually recording, capturing all the footage, what should you be keeping in mind? In this video, we're gonna cover the editing stage, the post-production stage. When you're creating a video for Facebook, what are the things you need to keep in mind in this editing stage? Let's dive into that right now. The first point here around the editing stage of creating a video for Facebook specifically is closed captioning. This is the first tip and almost the most important tip. Because of today's world and the way the platform works, most people are scrolling through on their phone. They're not listening with sound. They don't have sound enabled. It auto plays, but most people don't click on it, they listen to it. So having closed captioning pulls them in, captures their attention, allows them to actually engage and watch the entire video without having to listen to it. They may even be in a place they can't turn the sound on. So having closed captioning, whether it's hard embedded, meaning we burn it and you have it, it's always on, it's beneath the video, you put it in the editing stage, or you create a closed captioning file, an SRT file, and you add it to the Facebook video on a company page. I don't believe you can put a SRT file on a personal page or a group page, but you can do it on a company page. And for when you're boosting and creating ads for Facebook, it actually will automatically create subtitle files for you because Facebook itself knows how important they are. We actually created a whole nother video on closed captioning specifically for the power of it and how do you do it when you're creating it. Take a look at that to get more insight. But no, you need it. One more point connected to that though, is if it is important for someone to listen to it for whatever reason, actually have a visual cue come up and say, turn sound on, or have a little icon here and say, and have the person on camera point to it and say, turn the sound on. Having that visual cue will make them more likely to say, oh, all right, well, sure, I'll listen to it and see what the audio is. So there's a tip if you really do need sound. The second point to keep in mind when you're editing your videos for Facebook is visual graphics, text, elements. Very similar to the closed captioning, having textual graphics on screen to reinforce and highlight main points, noteworthy points, is a brilliant strategy if people aren't listening to the audio, or even if they are, it's a cue for the brain to reinforce on a certain point you really want them to make. So if I had a big point to say, I would have the text come up here and say, my big point, that's the point I'm making. And you're like, okay, he's making a big point. Having that textual reinforcement is a great way to get even more engagement, but to make sure you get a behavioral change, whether you want them to remember a certain concept or to take an action. Again, maybe click, turn the sound on, as we just talked about in our previous point, or to go to another website or to think about a concept. Have a textual graphic on screen so that they remember that. They have both auditory as well as a visual cue to remember your point. The third thing to keep in mind when you're in the editing stage, the post-production stage, is make a square video. A one-by-one. Think Instagram is really, they started this off. There's a lot of research on Facebook that shows that square videos and vertical videos perform much better than widescreen, which really hurts us video creatives because we love widescreen, 16:9, film look, because it's just what we know, and we're like, oh no, vertical video syndrome. But the research here, one study shows that 56.3% of the top 25 most engaged Facebook videos were square. They were one-by-one or they were vertical. And in the top 1,000 most engaged, there was over 70% that were square and vertical. So over half of the top 25,000 videos were square, and more than almost 3/4 of all videos in the top 1,000 videos were all square. So the research shows it works because it fills up more of your mobile device. And again, most people are on Facebook on their mobile device. So if you can fill up more of their screen when they're scrolling by, they're naturally gonna be pulled in if it's visually interesting. So having square or vertical is a smart strategy across all social platforms, but specifically Facebook. And you can create multiple versions. One way, if whatever you shot you need to see all widescreen version of it, you can actually put bars below and above. You've probably seen Facebook videos like this before. Or you can then zoom in on the footage to have just a section. And there's a really cool site called crop.video that actually will help you crop it for you if you already have a widescreen video. So you just upload it, and they have some paid plans and some free plans. So definitely take a look at that if you don't do a lot of editing yourself or have a fancy editing platform to create a square video. There you go. 3 points to keep in mind mind when you're editing your video. In our next video, we're gonna talk about what do you need to keep in mind when you're actually posting. You're sharing your video on Facebook to get the most from your video. You want actually people to watch it, right? You want people to engage with it. So one of the things you need to keep in mind will be in that video. Please follow, subscribe so that you can get notified the next time our video is online. I'm Alex with Your Local Studio. We'll see you next time.